Slow clap for the vice president. She is the greatest border czar we've ever had. Do you think that we should add anything in terms of policy? Just like, did you guys not see the video that I just did? Did you guys miss that? I said, do not come. Bam. They're like, she's right, man. Because most of the migrants definitely have access to televisions and phones and digital ways that they would receive that message. And so for sure, absolutely for sure, you know that they saw Kamala Harris, who is the most respected politician in the history of America, say, do not come. They know that if they do come, then something bad's going to happen that they should be very, very afraid of. Do you think they got that message? Yeah, probably. Like, you think they heard or saw the message? Maybe. But you think that what they would take from do not come is that there is some reason that they should not come? Oh, definitely. Because she just has that forceful way of delivering information. All right, Jesse on Fire, welcome back. What an eventful day we have so far. So I got caught up on the Joe Biden report. I saw this when it first happened, where it was like, Joe Biden committed impeachable offenses, says new report from the U.S. House of Representatives. And I was like, yeah, duh. What movie has everybody been watching? I literally did not even read the story because I'm like, yeah, of course. So, I mean, like, are you serious? The Burisma thing? The fact that I have to educate people on what happened with Burisma in Ukraine still to this day, I'm like, guys, hey, let me ask you a question, and very specific side of the aisle that I have to educate. Did you support Donald Trump getting impeached over what he did in Ukraine? And they're like, well, absolutely. He used the United States government as a weapon to further his own political ends. And I'm like, well, so would you think that it was better, worse, or the same if he would have done the exact same thing that he did, only to make lots of money for himself? They were like, well, he probably did. And I would say that's just as bad. And I'd be like, right, okay. So you understand that's exactly what Joe Biden did, except Joe Biden did it in a much more kind of like egregious way. And he like bragged about it. Like there's not even any like there's no way to misunderstand this. All you have to do is just look, because he said it on a stage. What? So we'll talk about that, and we'll talk about why he's getting thrown to the wolves, because he's getting thrown to the wolves. And if you guys did not see, there are U-Haul trucks in front of the White House, and the reports are somebody's moving out of the White House. Gosh, so who lives in the White House? I can't remember. I don't think I learned this when I was in third grade. Like, who lives in the White House? I can't remember. The president, right? So who would be moving out? I wonder, I wonder if maybe they want to make sure they get some Kamala time as the president, because it makes her more electable, right? Because now we'll get some time to see her running the country and doing such an incredible job. And so it's more of like a re-election type situation than it is like election type situation, I mean, I'm just speculating based on the entire history of how they do things, So we'll talk about those two things. And then also Donald Trump, he, listen, dude, the Swifties have apparently endorsed Trump, but it's not real, but it's hilarious because it's Trump trolling everyone, where he posted a thing on his Truth Social, the fake AI images of Taylor Swift and Swifties. Dude, AI is actually really funny now. If we're only going to use it for like trolling people. Did you guys see the AI video of Trump and Kamala? Because if you haven't, oh my God, it is hilarious. Maybe I'll even put it in this video if I have time. So, yeah, we're going to go through that as well. Go ahead and subscribe to the channel if you have not yet. You guys are incredible. I say this in a lot of videos, but I want to reiterate it right now that this audience, so I have two different audiences now, right? Like I had almost 200,000 subscribers that were, primarily like combat sports type of, interests. And then I gained 200,000 subscribers that are, like Trump, like kind of like political people. And so I just try to split and just do like an equal amount of content. And so when I tell you that I have something to compare the two to, it's like there is absolutely black and white. The group that watches this type of content is so amazing at liking videos and then commenting. It's like the ratio of views to likes on this type of content is like 4x versus combat sports. It's nothing against the combat sports community. It's just like, this is a very engaged group. It's not lost on me, and I really, really appreciate that. And if you have not subscribed to the channel, nothing helps me more than if you subscribe. Thank you guys very, very much. All right, so Let's talk about, let's just run through this. I saw this on Redacted this morning. This is how I finally got caught up on what they're saying that Joe Biden did to get impeached, or, where he's just going to get forced out, or however they're going to do this. You know what I mean? But let's just watch a little bit of this and see what they're saying.
It is based on a year of evidence gathering that started in 2023. The committee has seen checks, loan documents. They've spoken to whistleblowers. It is dense. Again, you should seek it out and look for yourself. Here is specifically what they found. This is a summary.
By the way, one other thing that I really like about Redacted is how Clayton has like platformed his wife. I think she's great. She's very, very talented. I have done the same thing. If you guys did not realize, my wife is more talented than me, certainly much better looking. And we have a second channel called Play with Matches, and it's just as good or better than this channel. And the link is in the description if you want to go check that out, because it's awesome. Let's continue.
Found that he did use his position to make money. A lot of it since he was vice president. I would suspect that did not start during his vice presidency, but that's as far back as they looked. They say that his family was using his influence to make money, and that it is, quote, inconceivable that President Biden did not understand that he was taking part in an effort to enrich his family by abusing his office of public trust. They say that the Biden family has made sophisticated efforts to conceal all of this by using LLCs, intermediaries, smaller transaction. They also say he concealed evidence. He removed evidence and documents specifically. If we could go to the next one, he removed evidence to his personal residences, and he showed things to his ghostwriter who did not have clearance, and he had the White House lie for him about this. In fact, they claim, and I don't know if this is true, that the president could be impeached based on just the fact that the Biden administration lied for him, whether he knew about it or not.
Yeah. Okay. So we could, dig deep into the details on this, or I could just give you my favorite single example, which again is the Burisma story, because it is so egregious and it is such a ridiculously perfect example of how they gaslight us, right? Where they're in the media and they're screaming with their hair on fire about how, did you guys not see what this guy did? Did you not see what Donald Trump did? Because listen, he is guilty. It's right there. It's in the phone call. Okay. He said that he would release the loan. You know what? Let's just rewind. Let's talk about what they said Trump did, and then we will talk about what Joe Biden did. And it's a perfect example. Okay. So the reason that they impeached Trump on the Ukraine thing is because Trump was recorded on a phone call saying to the leadership in Ukraine that they had $1 billion. I don't remember the exact number. I think it was $1 billion, maybe $2 billion, whatever it was. It was before we started just throwing so much money over there that it was ludicrous. But like he was going to release those funds, but he wanted them to look into the corruption that Joe Biden had participated in this Burisma story, and then send over any kind of evidence or whatever that they could find. And then and then it was like, and it wasn't even really like directly said either. It was kind of like, hey man, listen, I want to give you this money, but I would really, I would appreciate it if you could look into this thing with Burisma and then send me what you find. Okay. So that is, they're like, he's using taxpayer funds to hold this government in Ukraine hostage and make him try to cook up evidence on Joe Biden. And so we have to impeach him. And it was like, well, more so, I think he knew exactly what Joe Biden did. And he's like, could you produce something that I can use? Because he definitely 100% did that. And we're just looking for some information, whatever. Neither here nor there. Trump released the money. He actually sent the money before anything really happened. Okay. So that's what he did. So what Joe Biden did, which was what Trump was referencing, and this is coming directly from Joe Biden because he talked about it on stage in front of an entire crowd because he's a genius. Okay. I think that he had been corrupt with such ridiculous impunity for so long that he didn't even remember what's legal and what's not, So on stage, let's rewind. So Hunter Biden was given a board seat on the board of Burisma, which is a Ukrainian energy company, which coincidentally was founded when the founder embezzled $4 billion or something like that. Don't quote me on that exact number, but he stole a bunch of money and then founded Burisma. Okay, so it's corrupt from the jump. He puts Hunter Biden on the board of directors. Does Hunter Biden speak Ukrainian? No. Does Hunter Biden have a bunch of experience in energy? No. Does Hunter Biden have any qualifications? Aside from his relative, like being a relative of Joe Biden? No, not so much. I mean, he does have a law degree. Oh, does a law degree in the United States apply to Ukrainian law? No, not really. Okay, so like what could the value be of putting Hunter Biden on the board? They're like, I don't know. Well, how much was he getting paid? Around $88,000 a month. Really? Yeah. So what does that come out to a year? $1 million a year. Oh, weird. That's a nice round number. So for $1 million a year, he gets to sit on the board and do nothing, right? And the value that he provided was access to Joe Biden. Now, why would they want access to Joe Biden? It's because Joe Biden is the vice president of the United States and thus has dominion over funds that were being gifted to Ukraine to do this, that, or the other. It's not rocket science, obviously, And since Hunter Biden is quoted in his leaked text messages that came out from his computer, hey, can you fix my computer that has absolutely damning evidence against me, my father, and our entire family in one of the most clear-cut cases of corruption international? Like, could you just fix this computer? He's like, yeah, is there anything else on there? He's like, oh yeah, lots and lots of images of me, smoking crack, prostitution, listen, like when it comes to handing evidence to someone that no rational person would ever do, like that's what this is. Every time that I give my cell phone to someone when they're just going to repair the screen, I always am like, I just look at them. I'm like, I know they're going to look through my pictures. Don't be looking through my pictures, dude. Okay. Those are for me. Anyway, but so he leaves it there, and obviously you find all this stuff. Okay, now, so Burisma gets put under investigation by the Ukrainian, government, which is apparent, the guy's friendly to Russia or whatever, but he puts them under investigation for some kind of corruption, right? And so Burisma goes to Hunter Biden and goes, listen here, pal, listen. We're paying you $1 million a year, and we're not paying you $1 million a year to just sit there. Oh, by the way, the point I was making with the computer is that in those leaked text messages from the computer, Hunter Biden said that 50% of everything that he has brought in goes to daddy, goes to the big guy. Okay. Now, listen, am I going to sit here and pretend that if I were in the position of vice president of the United States and all of these billions of dollars were changing hands and I had that amount of power that I'm not figuring out a way to get some money? No, I'm not. But I'm not a public official, and I'm not going to be scrutinized for this because I'm not in position to do that, and I am not the actual vice president of the country. I'm just telling you right now. I'm going to get things done, and I'm also going to make money. Okay? So keep that in mind, right? Keep that in mind in the event that that you thought about putting me in one of those. Like, I honestly don't even judge. The point I'm making is I don't even judge these politicians who do that. I really don't. Like, it's just human nature. That's what people are going to do. Okay. But nonetheless, it's illegal, right? So they go to Hunter Biden and they say, listen, guy, okay, we're under investigation. It's game time. That $1 million a year we're giving you, it's time for you to produce some results. Okay. So what we need you to do is we need you to get this guy off our back. Okay. Make a phone call. So he makes a phone call. He set up a meeting between Joe Biden and the Ukrainians in Burisma. It's kind of murky exactly where they met. There's some kind of dinner. They said they never really actually hung out, whatever. But bottom line is this, right? And this is the part that comes directly from Joe Biden, right? He said that he went to the president of Ukraine and he said, well, I got this $1 billion loan guarantee for you, but I need that prosecutor fired. The prosecutor who's bringing the case against Burisma or investigating them. And the guy says, well, no, we're not going to do that. And Biden says, well, then you're not going to get the money. Okay. And then he said verbatim, well, son of a bitch, what do you know? 24 hours later, prosecutor's fired. So again, they impeached Trump because he semi-gray area said that he would appreciate if they would look into that case for him to release the $1 billion loan guarantee or whatever they were doing over there. And what he was asked them to look into was Joe Biden overtly saying that they were not going to get the $1 billion of taxpayer money if they did not fire the prosecutor who was investigating the company that pays his son $1 million a year, of which he gets $500,000. Okay. So if you couldn't follow all that, it's weird because I think I laid it out pretty crystal clear. So what I'm going to basically speculate is that lots and lots of other stories like that came out in this report. I know there's some kind of 10 million thing from China, like in some like private equity thing that they were setting up or whatever. You know, there's some kind of Iraq deal that that Joe Biden's brother got to do the rebuild. That's my favorite kind of story in these. Like my absolute favorite is we went in and we killed a bunch of people and blew up all their buildings. And then now someone has to get all the money to rebuild what we blew up. So we're going to go with this guy. Like, it's like the most evil psycho. Like, it's insane. You know, when you really put it in context like that, you went into a country, a sovereign country, and you blew it up, killed a bunch of people. And then you know, same kind of small circle of people are like, don't worry, we're going to rebuild it. We might make a few $1 billion doing it, you know what I mean? And we also made a few $1 billion on the weapons that we used to blow it up. But listen, man, now we have oil rights. And so everybody in America's happy. You're like, good God, man. That is some Luciferian approach to worldview. You know what I mean? Anyway, so yeah. So I wonder why all this is coming out now, you know? It's, and I'll tell you why. I mean, I don't know for sure, but I will tell you this. Nothing's going to happen to Joe Biden except for him stepping down. That's it. They just want him gone. And it looks like if there's a U-Haul in front of the White House, that's already happening, right? He's done. He's gone. That's a wrap for Joe Biden. Now, the heroic Kamala Harris, the least popular vice president in history, who was given control of the border, and the entirety of her approach was going on a microphone and saying, do not come. Do not come. I remember reading what what her mission was. And it was like address the root causes for why migrants from these countries are going through this arduous process to come all the way up to the United States. You know, secure border security at the border, all this stuff. And like, she's all, I got it. I got this. I got it. Okay. I don't need all you advisors. I don't need all you guys chat. I got it. Okay. Give me a microphone and a camera. They're like, are we going off the cuff? Oh, we're not going off the cuff. I've been thinking about this for 6 minutes. Okay. 6 minutes of planning is not off the cuff. Give me that microphone. Give me that camera. We're a go. Should we do this live or should we record it? So listen, I'm ready for it to go live or we can record it. And they give it to her. She's like, do not come. Do not come. That is our message to the migrants in South America. Don't come. Do not come. And they're like, they turn it off. They're like, whoa, wow. We drastically underestimated you, Kamala Harris. Unbelievable job. We thought you were going to come with a plan that made no sense or something that was going to be completely ineffectual. But then that's what you came with. I mean, wow. Slow clap for the vice president. She is the greatest border czar we've ever had. Do you think that we should add anything in terms of policy? Huh? Policy, you know, like anything having to do with the actual implementation of securing the border. She's like, did you guys not see the video that I just did? Did you guys miss that? You know, I said, do not come. Bam. They're like, she's right, man. She is right. Because most of the migrants definitely have access to televisions and phones and digital ways that they would receive that message. And so for sure, absolutely for sure, you know that they saw Kamala Harris, who is the most respected politician in the history of America, say, do not come. They know that if they do come, then something bad's going to happen that they should be very, very afraid of. Do you think they got that message? Yeah, probably. Like, you think they heard or saw the message? Maybe. But you think that what they would take from do not come is that there is some reason that they should not come? Oh, definitely. Because she just has that forceful way of delivering information. So now she's going to be the president, you know. I'm feeling very secure already, you know. So if you need a reason to, you know, vote for this guy, you could go like, I feel like he might implement like a policy of some kind because he did at the border that they unwound and turned it into a complete disaster. But I'm saying, you know, it's ridiculous. So be on the lookout for, the big guy, that big guy, that's taking the money, that one, to be out of the White House very soon. And I am going to go over now, do a separate video about the Trump and Swiftie thing because it's hilarious and then this went too long. So enjoy that. And by the way, when I say I'm going to go do it, I already recorded it and it's hilarious. So you definitely want to watch that. Love you guys. Bye-bye.